Hello there, my name is Em and I collect cookbooks. Unfortunately, I've collected far too many over the course of my life, and now it is time to cull the herd. Or really, not really cull them, but I should probably start using them, and that's why I have decided to embark upon this project to cook from every single one of them. And the catch is, if I don't cook from every single one of them, I can't buy a new one. So that's gonna be fun for me and fun for you as you watch my meltdown. So I'm gonna be completely honest. I actually have no idea where I came across this, but it's in my bookshelf, and it's the first book I decided to cook from because I felt like Vietnamese, and it just seemed like a good thing to do on a Saturday. So, Vietnamese Food and Cooking by Julie Bassan. I probably have another book by her. So, it's a pretty solid book. I mean, judging from all these tabs, it's very clear that at some point I had planned to cook from it. So, the recipes are pretty good. I haven't really cooked much from it. But there's this like sizzling spiced crepes that I was quite interested in, and then there was an eel dish. But a friend of mine actually asked me to make something to do with lotus because I think she's really fascinated by lotus. So this one's for you. Anyway, owing to that, I decided to make a lotus root and pork rib soup, which is very thick, very strong, very homey, and that was really, it turned out exactly as I wanted it to, which you will see. And also on that front, I decided I would do a salad because a soup seemed like a cop out. And so the salad is supposed to be like a lotus stem, but we don't get that here, unfortunately. So I substituted it with bamboo shoot, which also has the same desired effect. Very tasty. Yeah, it's good to make do in the kitchen and in life. This is a really easy soup. You got your pork ribs, you got your chilies, you've got your dried squid, you've got your carrot, and you've got your lotus root. So essentially what you want to do is to skin them, and then you want to cut them up into whatever shape you want. I wouldn't be too fastidious about it because this is really just soup. And no one's gonna look at it at the end of the day. I would recommend, if you're using really large lotus root like mine, that you cut it smaller. I made a mistake of going too big and it was just yikes, not really the best eating experience because I ended up looking like a mess, and you don't want that, especially if you're cooking for like a date. Then of course you have an onion. I didn't bother to peel mine because I am lazy. Chuck that in. Throw in the chilies. You can add as much or as little as you want. It doesn't really matter. I went with about 2 bottles of water. You can go with a little bit more, a little bit less. I would add some depending on how quickly your stove goes, and then you just eyeball some soy sauce and some fish sauce. Again, Asian cooking, it's very quick. You just eyeball it. You don't really look or measure. And now we're moving on to the salad, which entails cutting a cucumber and removing the seeds. And you note here that I left it quite big, and I should have cut it smaller, but I was lazy. And there are a lot of ways for you to cut this bamboo. I chose to do it this way because then you get those crackly little bits that you can use to scoop up a bit more sauce. Be sure to cool them immediately after they're cooked. About 4 minutes should do the trick. Now you want to thinly slice your shallots, and you want to make sure they're thin. And right after, you want to make sure that you take some time to play with it. Break it apart, spread it, so that you get a bit of shallot with every mouthful. Not too much, not too little. And watch as I make the horrible mistake of underestimating how much food I've got. See? And now I need a bigger bowl. And you want to slice some basil. I use Thai basil, and also some coriander. Please don't leave either of them out, because in Asian food you gotta have these, otherwise it won't taste the same. I know I'm triggering lots of people because I don't tuck my thumb when I slice, but what are we gonna do? One day I will cut myself, and then y'all can laugh at me. Mix that in, and then make the sauce. You can also alternatively use a grater instead of chopping up your garlic this way. I just like the way it sounds. Use as much chili or as little as you want again. These are bird's eye chilies, so they're pretty hot, and I made the mistake of touching my face after, which was fun. And you can use as much as 2 limes, I think. Some limes are really dry. And add sugar to taste, fish sauce to taste again. You want to make sure you get the right ratio depending on how much vegetables you have. So this is about 2 cucumbers and about 3 to 4 pieces of bamboo shoot. And really get in there, mix it up with your hands. Give it a taste. Take a moment to breathe and figure out that, hey, you really did it. Now we're gonna go back to the soup, which has been simmering for about 2 hours by now. And you're gonna remove the pork ribs as gently as possible, taking time to admire it. And I would not recommend shredding it apart with your bare hands while it's still fresh from the pot. In which case, you could do as I do, desperately scraping at it with chopsticks. Or just wait a little while until it's cooler and you can handle it without any problems, as I eventually do. So what you're gonna do is shred all of it apart, but don't throw away the bones, because if you're gonna return it to the boil, you want to keep the bones there, because bones have a lot of flavor, and it just keeps going. It's the gift that keeps giving, you know. So put that back into your stock. I have like a rolling boil going on because I'm very impatient. Once your soup is done, you're gonna boil some noodles and watch as I try and fail to be cool. You know, at that point I had been cooking for a few hours, so you start to laugh cry past a certain time. I used spinach noodles because that's what I had. Use any noodles you want. I think tapioca noodles would be really great with this. You can see from here that that one lotus piece is really huge and a bit too big. So do as I say, make it smaller. I'm gonna garnish with spring onion, Thai basil, and some coriander. You know, leafage is good for you. And that's it. Easy. So ultimately, I was really pleased. Everything turned out the way I wanted it to. I mean, I could have stood to cut up the cucumber a bit more, and probably also cut up the lotus root a little bit better. But you know, people mess up in cooking. Shouldn't apologize, as Julia Child says. So subscribe if you'd like to see some more. Feel free to comment and let me know what book I should do next. The link to the list of books I have is in the description below. So, you know, check it out. Let me know. So yeah. Also, Chinese New Year is coming up. So happy Chinese New Year to all of you. And I'll see you all next time.